हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। अभ्रमं भङ्गरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतलं भजे तापत्रयापहं मिथ्यासिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्त विध्वंसनशक्नः जयदीप्ताकितनिर्भासतां नो हृदम्बरे अत्तिकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यत्यकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुभूयादस्मदिष्टात् सिद्धये तपोविद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणोगाकरानं वादिराजगुरून् वन्दे हैग्यवदाश्रयान् पूज्य राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वादिध्वान्तरवये वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्री राघवेन्द्र गुरुवे नमो अतिदयाळवे आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामात्मं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति मनोरथाः हरिः ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. In the third chapter, we did the very important concept, which is the chakra, karma chakra, we call it, known as a cycle of karma. In two slokas, basically, it describes the entire chakra. And those two slokas that we saw, अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्नसम्भवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवं तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्. So this whole cycle, as we went through, how like from anna, the food, the grains, the bhutani, the panchabhutas is not, is not what is meant here. Here bhutani means it is all the living beings, because living beings need the food, one thing. Second thing, through the grains, the jiva, I said I'll take a separate class on that, and on that topic, how in Harikatamsara, Pancha Mahayajna Sandhi, the journey of the jiva is described. But today we'll kind of confine, because that's like a separate session outside of Gita. But today, since we are doing the Gita, we'll have the Gita session. And here from Anna, the grains, the jiva is traveling like in the rain, drops and everything. The jiva travels from above, down it comes the jiva, using the, through the raindrops enters the grains, and through the grains enters the uh, father's body, then the mother's body, and the jiva is brought out. That way also annat bhavanti bhutani. So in both ways, basically all the living beings, they are brought into the creation through the anna or the grains or the food. If we take other jivas, like even like the where the jivas, they live their life using the food cycle that we call the food chain. So in the food chain, that is actually a link between jiva, all the living beings, and the food, different kinds of food. But basically the food is the supporting entity, and so from the food the jivas are coming. And how the food comes, it can be carnivorous animals or herbivorous animals, but the basic, the very, very fundamental root of the food is the grains only, the plant food. Because even the carnivorous animals, when they eat the other animals, eventually they are dependent upon the animals which live on vegetables. So finally, ultimately, the vegetation or the plant food is the root of the all the food chain. It is rooted in the vegetation, and that vegetation, the root of the food chain, is grown because of the rains and also photosynthesis. When the photosynthesis happens, the sun's rays are needed. So the sun is supporting the food chain in two ways. One is by making the rains happen, because the sun makes the water evaporate and form the clouds and make the rains fall. That's one way. The second, in photosynthesis, the sunlight is needed. So in both ways, the sun and the clouds and the rain are all addressed combined way as Parjanya. So from Parjanya, Anna is created. The food chain, root of the food chain is created. And from Yajnat Bhavanti, how that Parjanya? Two ways. One is the cloud formation. In fact, scientifically it says when the clouds form, they need certain particles there. So when yajna or the famous yajna, the popular yajna is performed, those particles probably they cause that. That's why in a lot of places when there are no rains at all, people go and great people they perform the yajnas and the rain comes down in two ways. One is physiological or physically, the particles will help the formation of the clouds, one thing. Second thing, spiritually also, by performing the yajnas, we are actually enriching, not that like the sun god or the clouds god, I mean the Abhimani Devatas. The Abhimani Devatas, they are getting their strength because of the mantra shakti, the power of the mantras through which the yajnas are performed. Those mantras will energize the sun god or the Parjanya Devata, Surya Devata. They are getting the energization through the mantra shakti of the yajnas that are being performed. So that's why Yajnat bhavati parjanyah. Yajnah karma samudbhavah. Yajna is formed from the karma. So I'm just recapping whatever has been told. So yajna is coming. Yajna is nothing but a kind of a karma. And the karmas happen. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahma is Paramatma, Parabrahma. He is as Antaryami, gives us the strength, gives us the scope, gives us the space, gives us the opportunity, gives us all that is needed to perform the yajna karmas. And those karmas, as Antaryami, he energizes, and also for performing the karmas, all the necessary tools, everything is supplied by Paramatma. So karma is happening. That's why द्रव्यम कर्म च कालस्य स्वभावो जीव एव सा यद अनुग्रहतः सन्ति न सन्ति यदुपेक्षया in Bhagavata one sloka comes. The karma also happening because of Paramatma. So karma Brahmodbhavam is born out of Parabrahma. And that Brahma, Parabrahma, is Akshara Samudbhavam, Akshara Vedakshara. He is propounded by the Vedas. And the Vedas are eternal, of course. They are not created by anybody. But still, the Vedas get their manifested. That means the Vedas get propagated through the bhutas. Pranis, they recite the Vedas and they propagate the Vedas, pass on from generation to generation the Vedas. So that's why the pranis again, they make the Vedas manifest. So the Vedas get manifested by the bhutas or pranis, and the bhutas again by Anna. So like that the cycle goes on and on. And tasma sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitah. Here, though we described the entire cycle, remember that Brahma is there in every point of the cycle. As Surya, Suryantargata Narayana is there. So he is there also. And in grains, food, all the food has different rupas. Paramatma takes is present in the food. He is present in the karmas. He makes the karmas happen. And also he's the yajna bhokta and yajna karta. He makes the yajnas happen, and also he is the receiver of the yajna phala, and he gives the results for the yajna also. So he takes whatever we offer to Paramatma through yajnas, he receives them so that he can grace us back. Not that he needs the yajna phala. He doesn't need whatever we offer through the yajna. Paramatma is not in desperate need of that. The reason why Paramatma takes all that is so that he can bless us, because Paramatma doesn't want to give anything like a freebie. Of course, we offer whatever Paramatma gave to us, we offer to him the same thing. Whatever from the lake, we take the water and pour down into the lake. So जैसे सरोवर से पानी लेकर सरोवर में भी छोड़ देते हैं. So like that we do take from what Paramatma gave and offer it back to Paramatma, and he graces us back for the effort that we have made, even though it is all from the grace of Paramatma. That's why tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajna pratishtitam. Always he is established in the yajna. So in this chakra, we see the act of Paramatma in every part of this cycle or this chakra. So this is the beautiful karma chakra that has been described. And after describing the karma chakra, the instruction to us, how is it relevant to us? Though we are aswatantras, through Paramatma's grace, we have to do the karma chakra. We have to participate in the karma chakra. Uh, just 1 second pause. Somebody at the bell. I'll just find out what it is. 1 minute. Sorry, yeah, I'll continue. Yeah, so this is what the karma chakra is there. So here it says, after describing the karma chakra, it gives an instruction for us. How is it relevant to us? So in the next 16th sloka, it says, Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati iha yaha aghayur indriya ramo moham parthasa jivati. So Krishna is giving instructions to Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, remember, the reason I have described this karma chakra is you say, okay, I don't want to participate in this karma chakra. I'll just go and do whatever I feel like. I am not going to discharge my duty as a kshatriya. If you say that, that means it's not the right thing to do. And not only that, for all of us, evam pravartitam chakram. This way, when this cycle is being conducted by Paramatma, na anuvartayati, the word that is used, anuvartayati, anusrutya, that means in accordance with this karma chakra, whatever is our role in that, what is our role in that? Our role in that is to participate and perform our duties, whatever is our duty, without shirking our responsibilities. We have to participate in this chakra, means we have to perform our duty and not shun away from our duties. That is the instruction for us. If we don't do that, it says, Aghayuhu Indriya Aramaha Mogham Partha Sajivati. That means if one is interested in satisfying the person's own sense organs and not interested in performing any of the duties, that is what's called Indriya Aramaha. That means one who is enjoying his senses, sense organs, satisfying the sense organs is the only goal. I don't care for the society, I don't care for anybody else, I care for my own self. That selfishness, that is very bad. If anybody does that, he is agha ayu. Agha means sins. Ayu is the span of, that means he is a kind of engaging himself into a sinful act. The sinful, doing a wrong thing is sinful thing, and not doing the right thing is also a sinful thing. So here, if somebody is, what is the right and wrong thing here? Indriya Ramaha is doing a wrong thing. And not doing the right thing is what? Not performing one's own duties. So, do's and don'ts. What is a don't? Being an Indriya Rama, being a gratifying his own sense organs only. That should not be the sole goal. If someone has that as the only goal, that's wrong. And also, another thing is the person has to discharge his duties. If he doesn't discharge his duties, that is also wrong. So, this do and don't both have to be followed. If the person doesn't follow this, he becomes aghayuhu, a sinful person. That means he is unnecessarily tying himself into the sinful act, and his mogham sa jivati, his life is futile, it's useless, it's worthless life. He's leading a worthless life because he perform, and the person enters the earth, leaves the earth, and his impact is not there at all during his lifetime, pre-lifetime or post-lifetime. Anytime his impact on the earth is not there at all. The person is not doing any good to the society. He's completely wasting his life. So this is the instruction that is being given. So this chakra, karma chakra or yajna chakra is to be followed by everybody. And the way they can follow is if they understand the cycle, it makes it easier and also makes us realize how we are partaking in this karma chakra or the cycle of the whole yajna chakra or karma chakra, how we participating. That's what it tells us. So this thing has to be followed very keenly and very kind of dedicated fashion. It has to be followed. That's what it's being told. And then it also says, um, yeah, and yeah, okay. Here it says, next sloka, yastu atmaratireva syat atmatruptascha manavaha atmenaiva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. 17th sloka. This is a very interesting sloka because, see, the meaning that we take, yaha to one who is indulged in atmaratihi eva, this shabda. What is atmaratihi eva? Syad atmatruptascha manavaha. If he engages himself in atmarati and atmatrupta, then atmani eva cha santushtaha. He is santushta in atma only. For him, nothing need to be done. It's more like a riddle. It's a complete riddle. What is the Atma? Atma, Atma, Atma repeated so many times. And what does Atma mean? Suppose for oneself, if we give that meaning, it goes complete. In fact, a lot of people fell a prey for that. Until Acharya came and gave the correct interpretation, people say, gave the interpretation, one who is pleasing himself. Look at the previous sloka. Previous sloka told one should not become an Indriya Rama. And then if people interpret this as Atma means oneself, Atma Ratihi Eva, one who indulges in himself, and Atma Tuptasa, one who is satisfied with himself, and Atmani Eva Santusha, he is happy and he is self-absorbed, self-satisfying. Self, if we give the self, Atma is self. A lot of people in English also they translate. But if we give that interpretation, for him nothing need to be done. It's the ultimate best thing to do, best thing to have. That means if you take the superficial meaning, it gives as if the selfishness is the ultimate thing. Completely wrong. So Acharya says here, if Atmaratihi means Paramatma by doing the dhyana of the actually Acharya gives two kinds of interpretation. Both are beautiful. One is Atmarati means in Paramatmani Rati. That means one who attached himself to Paramatma and having a blissful experience. And because of that, he became Atmatrupta. That means he is, look at the meaning. Atma, instead of saying self, put the meaning Paramatma. Then it opens up a new door. Atmarati, Paramatmarati, one who is attaching himself to Paramatma, having a blissful experience. And because of that, he is satisfied, completely content. Atmatruptaha, Atmani eva santushtaha. That sukha experience is there and enjoying it from inside through the darshana of Paramatma. For him, nothing need to be done means one level of meaning is asampragnata samadhi. We talked about that. A person seeing Paramatma through jnana chakshu and is completely unaware of the outside happenings. He went into what we call asampragnata samadhi, completely absorbed in Paramatma. If someone is asampragnata samadhi, for that person, he doesn't have to worry about any duties that he has to perform. oh, I have to do Sandhya Vandana at this time, I have to do this one, I have to do that one, my duty. That means he is exempt from the duty only for the duration, not that he's because the cycle, karma cycle is explained. So that person is not completely getting rid of the karma cycle, but a kind of giving a pause, a small pause, a pause for maybe a day, a 2 day. When he is in asamprajnat samadhi, he is tasya karyam na vidyate. He doesn't have to worry about this karma cycle. The karma cycle is temporarily past. Not that he's completely got rid of the karma cycle. Karma cycle, because once he comes out of the asamprajnat samadhi, he continues the karma cycle. So before asamprajnat samadhi, he will have the karma cycle. After asamprajnat samadhi, also he will have karma cycle. During asamprajnat samadhi, nothing is mandatory for him. He is not mandated to perform any actions. This is one meaning. The second meaning is this whole thing, instead of asamprajnata samadhistha person, imagine this as a mukta person, liberated, because he is atmarati. Atmarati, paramatmarati, moksha, mukta jiva, liberated jiva is having atmarati, atmatrupti, atmasantushta, because he is now the bliss of the moksha. He is enjoying the bliss of the moksha. And there is no need for doing any sadhana in moksha. It's all expression of joys. For a person who is in moksha, in mukti, there is no, because he doesn't even have a physical body, he has only the swarupa deha and is ananda avirbhava. His jnana, ananda, they are expressed. So that person also does not have any mandatory actions. So two meanings. One is asamprajnat samadhi person, another is mukta or liberated person. For both of them, there is no prescribed action, and the person who is mukta, liberated, is completely outside the cycle. He is not even.
Namaskar, Shikeshara. Did we lose you? Can others hear him?
No, I can't hear anything either.
Okay, okay, let me check. Okay, I think it got disconnected, so he may join back again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how long I got disconnected. It's like at what point I got disconnected. I don't know. Uh,
Telling
yeah.
about the two type of people who don't have any karya,
Uh,
Paramatma, Sampragyat Samadhi, and the Mukta.
oh, okay.
After
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah. So the Mukta Jivas in Asampragnat Samadhi, only during Asampragnat Samadhi, he is not obligated to participate in karma cycle, but rest of the time he has to participate. Whereas for the Mukta Jiva, there is no karma cycle at all. There is no bandha at all, because he's completely outside the, because he's only Swarupa Deha is there. No Linga Deha, no Aniruddha, no Stula Deha. So he is not obligated at all the time. He's completely free during the entire Mukta state. So that is the difference. So I'll pause it here. So any questions are there, you can feel free to ask Haresh Srinivasa.
So, Sastang Namaskar, Shikeshara. So, Agha Yurindriya Ramo, can you explain that meaning again? I think you.
The split for that is Agha.
I think we lost you again, Shikeshara.
Yes, Agha is one for whom the Ayu is filled with sin. So that is the Aghayuhu. One who is Indriya Aramaha, that means one who is absorbed only in Indriyas, he becomes Aghayuhu. Indriya Aramaha, Aghayuhu Bhavati. That means one who is Indriya Arama. Arama means A Samyak Ram.
So, who is engrossed?
Ramanatva. That means
Ramana.
he is complete. Yeah, correct. Who is engrossed completely in senseful, sense, what you call, always sense satisfying life, satisfying only the senses. That kind of a person becomes Aghayuhu. That's what it is. So, Indriya Ramaha Aghayuhu Bhavati. And Tasya Jivam Saha Mogham Jivati. That means Tasya Jivaha Vyartham Bhavati.
Second question that I have is, you mentioned in the second, the 17th shloka, is that so you mentioned one of the meaning of the Atma is the Paramatma. In both
Yes.
places, if we take Paramatma,
Yeah.
so there is a one meaning that we arrive at.
Yeah.
Was there other permutations or meaning of Atma that we take in that shloka?
No, actually, in both the cases, Paramatma only. But in one case, it is Paramatma's Aproksha Darshana only. That is for Asampragnata Samadhi. In another case, Atmarati means is a Sangatya Paramatma. That means with Paramatma. It's not just the Darshana alone. But in Moksha Sthiti, the Jiva is with the Paramatma. So the Atmarati, Atmanaratihi. Another is Atmani Ratihi. So the Vigraha Vakya is slightly different. Both places Paramatma only, but one is one who has the Rata or Ananda because of the Aparoksha Darshana of Paramatma. That is one meaning. So Atmanaha Darshanat Rati. That is Atmarati. Another one is Atmanaha Sangatyat Ratihi. That Atmarati. That is for Mukta Jiva. So both cases Paramatma only, but the Vigraha Vakya is slightly different. That's all.
Okay, धन्यवाद. Sastang Namaskar.
Rata Prabhupada. Yeah, go ahead.
Namaskar, Acharya. I have a basic question, not directly related to today's class. In one of your earlier discourses, you had mentioned that definition of Supreme Lord being Sarvaguna Sampurna, Sarvadosha Vivarjita.
Yes.
And we also very commonly hear like the Supreme Lord is like Nirguna, Nirakara. So how should we interpret these two definitions?
Yeah, good question. See, the guna, the word guna has different meanings. One meaning is, as you said, guna is like beauty, karuna, jnana, ananda. These are auspicious qualities. They are called gunas. And another meaning for guna is prakruta gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. They are also called gunas. They are negative. They affect us in a negative way. So when we say Paramatma is Nirguna, we take the other that meaning, that is guna, prakruta guna. He is without the prakruta gunas. That means he is not affected by sattva rajas tamo gunas. He is beyond them. That is Nirguna. So the guna is totally, because the same person has to be saguna and nirguna. That's why the lot of people have confusion. Oh, he has jnana ananda guna, saguna. Nirguna means it does not have Jnana Ananda Gunas. It's a contradicting. That's not how it is. When we say Sarvaguna Sampurnaha, their guna is auspicious qualities. All the gunas means not Sattva-Rajas-Tamo gunas, but all the auspicious qualities like Jnana, Ananda, Karuna, Vyapakatva, Sushtikartyadakartatva, Samarthya, Shakti, Rupa, all the good gunas, all the infinite auspicious qualities are there. So that is Sarva Guna Sampurnaha, that guna is auspicious quality. Nirgunaha is absence of the gunas, not the Kalyana gunas, but they are absence of gross qualities like Sattva Rajastamo gunas are not affecting Paramatma because he is the controller of Sattva Rajastamo gunas. How can they affect him? So his Nirguna means he is devoid of the evil effects of Sattva Rajastamo gunas because he is the controller of Sattva Rajastamo gunas. That's why he's Nirguna. Guna Rahita means that Prakruta Guna Rahita. Saguna means is Sarva Guna Sampurna is auspicious called Kalyana Gunas. So two different meanings. When we say Guna Sampurna is one meaning, when you say Nirguna is a different meaning for Guna.
Very, very well described, Acharyaji. Thank you so much for clarifying this.
Sure. Okay. Hare Srinivasa. Prata Prabhuti Sayantam Sayadi Prataram Tata Yatromi Jagannatha Tadastu Tava Pujanam. Hare Srinivasa.
Sastanam namaskar.
Hare Srinivasa. Namaskara Guru.
Namaskar Guru. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Namaskaram, Hare.
Namaskara, Hare Namaskara, Guru.
Hare Srinivasa. Namaskar.
Hare